us both just going wild with. But yeah, won't do too much of a ramble. Let's get into some of them. Just gonna pop them down here actually. Okay. I might have to edit out the creaks. They're not great. Anyway, the first record I have is Rodriquez. Grew up listening to Rodriquez because both of my parents were huge fans of his music, and I believe he was actually pretty popular in South Africa. Now, I'm pretty sure he's an American, or at least South American artist, but his music was really, really popular in South Africa, so yeah, my parents loved him, and I grew up with him, with his music. So I actually found this in a op shop, and I was stoked. Rodriquez as an artist was not represented and looked after well by his manager, and was actually ripped off quite badly. I'm pretty sure there's a documentary on it. I think it's like Saving Sugar Man or something about Sugar Man. I'll put what it actually is in here. But yeah, a pretty good documentary. And if you ever want to give this guy a listen, I would really suggest Sugar Man. I Wonder, I'll Slip Away, or Crucify Your Mind. They're honestly all really good songs. But those are just some of my favourites. But yeah. Trying to get a thumbnail there. Yeah, Rodriquez. $25 at an op shop. It was a little steep for a second-hand op shop record, but the people who priced these obviously knew what this record was worth, because it's like, yeah, I would have paid a lot more for it. Alrighty, let's move on to the next one, shall we? Okay, the next one is, trying to find the, trying to make sure the light's not reflecting, but this is Royal's Royal Otis, and I'm pretty sure it's Pratt and Payne. Pratts and Payne. this band. I believe there were some sexual assault allegations against one of them. Now, I take that very seriously, and I am someone who usually doesn't like to support artists if they've done the wrong thing continuously. I don't really feed into cancel culture, but I also think it's important for people with a platform to be held accountable and to be able to role model good rupture and repair behaviours when it comes to doing the wrong thing and, rehabilitating or, doing the right thing moving forward. So yeah, whether or not the Royel Otis sexual assault allegations are true, I'm not sure. But if they are, hopefully, it's something that they're able to take accountability for and move forward in, because it would be a real shame to not listen to their music anymore. And I know it's easy to say you can separate the artist from the art that they put out, but it's also important to know that if you continuously support the art, it's also supporting the artist financially most of the time. So yeah, like the likes of Chris Brown, I will not support him at all after how many allegations have come out about his abuse. Not just the Rihanna stuff. I know that got lost in the media and everything, but there've been more after that. And he's still banned from visiting Australia, and there's a reason for that. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry for that. Try not to get political, but I do certainly try to take, believing the victims of these kinds of allegations and supporting what needs to be supported to help with the repair. Okay, God, I'm so sorry. Next one. Now this is a relatively new album, and it's probably my favourite album. I'm in love with it. It's so good. We've got Hayley Williams with Ego, Death at a Bachelorette Party. Ego, Death at a Bachelorette Party. I love Hayley Williams. Loved Hayley Williams since before she was her own solo artist. Loved her in Paramore. Paramore was one of my favourite bands growing up as a teenager. Probably still one of my favourite bands now. It's a shame. Oops. Yeah, if you follow any of the Paramore drama, it is a shame that there is a bit of a falling out, allegedly, between Hayley Williams and Paramore's guitarist, Taylor York, who were together and have apparently broken up. This album is spectacular. I probably selfies. Okay. Yeah, look, this whole album. Guys, it's spectacular. I really like Parachutes, which is one of her, I guess one of the more popular ones. And then I think there was also, oh god, they're so good and I can't remember any of them. Because I'm just fixated on Parachutes now. It doesn't even have a song list. I don't think I've ever noticed that. I think it might be the poster. It's the poster. Well, look at that. I said I wasn't going to open the poster. And here we are. So that's pretty massive. Kill me. Metazapine. Glum. Okay, yeah, so those are kind of my favorites besides Parachutes. Let's put this away. Alrighty. Yeah, Metazapine is quite a funny song. If you've ever been on antidepressants, or antipsychotics, or mood stabilizers, anything of that nature, I'm sure you would find this song to be quite satirical and like, I get that. But yeah, I quite liked it. Funny song, pretty good themes and like, yeah, just the way she sings about having a antidepressant that helps her was a cool spin on needing medication sometimes to help with a chemical imbalance. Alright, so that was our one and only Hayley Williams. Let's stick with the theme of baddies, and I say this in the most respectful way ever. No grossness, but we love the bad bitches making music at the moment. Hayley Williams, Olivia Dean, Doja Cat, Meg The Stallion, big fan, Sabrina Carpenter, all good stuff. Okay, so trying to get that light. Okay, got Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. Olivia Dean's also a pretty relatively, I would say, new artist to the scene. I'm pretty sure she just won New Artist at the Grammys or something like that. I think this album also won a couple of, or at least got nominated for some Grammys. has such a nice, like, easygoing vibe to all of her songs. I don't know if anyone ever had, like, their mum put, like, a specific kind of music on for when they did their Saturday or their Sunday cleaning, but I feel like this is what I would put on as a parent if I was going to be, like, doing the Saturday or Sunday, you know, like, weekend cleaning. I just feel like it's so easygoing, and yeah, there's such a happy vibe to all of the songs, even if they're not necessarily about something super happy. She's obviously also gotten pretty popular with the one of her songs off this album called Man I Need, which I'm pretty sure got pretty big on TikTok. Some of my favourites from this are Nice to Each Other, Lady Lady, Baby Steps, Something in Between, and So Easy to Fall in Love. But honestly, once again, all of these are so good. Yeah, big fan of this album, and really excited to kind of see what else Olivia Dean puts out. Fingers crossed it's a kind of a little bit different, because I think that's kind of the main issue that a lot of artists nowadays have. Like, they'll find a couple of songs that did really well for them, and then I think they just, like, try to repeat the same formula because they know it works, but eventually, like, people want something a bit different. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a full makeover of their music style or whatever, but just, you know, making sure that people don't think the same melody is in 4 or 5 different songs. I hate when artists and bands will put out songs and albums where you can't tell what the song is by the first 30 seconds of the song because they all sound the same. Like that kind of thing, you know. So yeah, no judgment to any songs that do sound the same, and that I like drum and bass and pretty repetitive music as well, so not that there isn't a time and a place for it, but yeah, I think with artists, especially new artists, it's fun to see what they can do and their range, and also how far they're willing to kind of push what their producers and their kind of record labels want them to do compared to what they want to do. But yeah, alrighty. Next one is sliding out of my hands. Goodness. sound, and his voice is spectacular. It is one of those. He's one of those artists that I can actually put on to fall asleep to, and I can't really do that much because I'm just like, I get too engaged, and everything's too like upbeat and vibey, so I just kind of groove with it. And not that his music isn't groovy, it's definitely like you can, but I don't know, I like to play his music when I'm driving down south, through the forests and going camping, or when I'm set up camping and there's a little bit of rain and our campfires going. Like, that's definitely the vibe I think he suits. Like, very picnic down by the river vibes. Or even like Hobbit down by the river vibes. Eating second breakfast. Some of my favourite songs from this album are Skinny Love. Skinny Love. There's been a couple of covers of that song in the past couple of years, so high chance you've heard of it, and not even from this artist. Blindsided. That's a beautiful song. And Creature Fear. Yeah, I don't know. Beautiful artist. Whatever is, would recommend. Okay, I think I've only got two left. Yeah. Alright. The next one is Gang of Youths, and I'm pretty sure this album's called The Positions. Yeah, The Positions. I really fuck with this album. Magnolia is quite popular. Magnolia. Vital Signs is also a really good one. Vital Signs. This band is quite a mystery actually, because I think if you were to listen to Magnolia, you wouldn't really think that they would be a super deep band, like, and that their lyrics and their other songs would have a lot of thought-provoking messages. But I find they really do. Like, this band has done a really good job at like turning poetry, I think, into like rock music almost, or maybe like punk. Rock's a bit of a stretch, but punk music for sure. Very, very cool band, and also love the cover of this one. I'm pretty sure it's just them from one of their shows. There's a price tag on this bad boy. It was $50, records is usually the deluxe ones or the the coloured record itself. So the overpass is also a pretty good one. Oh, I like the crinkles. We'll see how loud that is. Alrighty. Last but not least is Post Malone. We got Posty. I'm pretty sure this was his more country album with a lot of the country artists like Morgan Wallen, Blake Shelton, Brad Paisley, Dolly Parton, Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs, Sierra Farrell, Jelly Roll, Chris Stapleton, and many more. I say many more, I don't really care about the others. I was probably most happy about Dolly Parton, Luke Combs, Sierra Farrell, Lainey Wilson, and Chris Stapleton's features on this album. I love Chris Stapleton. He makes some good country music. I'm pretty sure this is F100 truck bed or something. I actually can't remember what this album is. But it's pretty good. And I'm pretty sure this was gifted to me. I actually don't even think I've taken it out of the paper, to be honest. Yeah, I haven't. Still a really good one though. I'm pretty sure that I Had Some Help song. Yeah, I quite like that one. I Had Some Help with Morgan Wallen. Missing You Like This with Luke Combs and California Sober with Chris Stapleton were also really, really good. Alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in and listening to me ramble about some of my favourite records and some of my favourite songs on those records. I really like talking about music and sharing music things with people, so if you have any of your favourite music that you would like to share with me, please do leave a comment. If you liked any of the records I showed, let me know. Would love to have a yarn about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching guys. Hope you have a lovely day, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this. Take care of yourself and one another, and I will catch you in the next video. Alrighty, bye legends.